Alrighty, so we have Jamie Pickett versus Jordan Wright. So Pickett has a 3-inch reach advantage, both are the same height, both have, good reach, but Jamie Pickett's just happened to be larger. So Jamie Pickett is a southpaw, he's mostly throwing singular strikes. Same with Jordan Wright, but when Jamie Pickett lets his hands go, I think that's when he has the most success. One of the only moments he had in the Tefon and Chukwi fight was when he hit that like 5-punch combo on Tefon. So, when he does let his hands go, he has success. Even on the Contender series, he hit that like 20-punch combination, but he just doesn't let them go enough. Mostly he's just throwing the straight right, the straight left as his southpaw. For Jordan Wright, he's throwing the straight right, he's in orthodox. As I said, mostly both of them are just throwing singular strikes. Jordan Wright will throw the body kick against southpaws, spinning heel kick, teep kick to the body. And Jordan will close distance at times and then look for the Muay Thai plum clinch, which ended his first UFC win. But yeah, so I think Jamie Pickett, I don't think he likes being hit too much. No one likes being hit, but he seems a little afraid to be hit, you know what I mean? Like, he uses big movements to avoid strikes, not really trying to throw his own offense back or even look for his own offense. He's just being completely defensive. He's generally on the back foot. He's normally always backing up. He seems to reach for the clinch every time his opponents do get close, but he doesn't have a good clinch game, so it seems like it's just a kind of defense mechanism to just really nullify the damage that his opponent can lay on him at that point. But generally, yeah, he is backing up using big movements to avoid strikes. Yeah, no, that's just my observation. It might not be the case, but it's just what I see. And he will lean back to avoid strikes. As I said, big movements. And Jordan Wright does have a nice high kick. So if he could set up the high kick with something and get Jamie Pickett leaning back, then I think he could definitely catch him with that. And the southpaw vs orthodox dynamic definitely does favour Jordan, because I think he uses his power leg a lot more and his power side a lot more. But yeah, neither of these guys have like an educated jab or an educated left hook, so most of their offense is coming from their power hand or the power side anyway. But I do think it favours Jordan. And Jordan will also reach for opponents in close, so I can see a lot of clinching and a lot of ugly clinching, like not really not really clinching with a purpose, just kind of clinching because they're close together. Yeah, so I'll quickly get over the grappling. So Jamie Pickett will mix it up. Jordan Wright, he doesn't look for takedowns at all, really. He looks to keep it on the feet, but Jamie Pickett, he will go for a double leg on the fence. He'll look for a reactive double. He looks to, go for a reactive double and then pretty much look for the clinch from there. So I think it's just a kind of habitual reaction for Jamie Pickett to level change and try to get on the hips when opponents do close the distance, but it doesn't look like he has the best wrestling game as a whole. How these guys win fights, so yeah, just chaining that together. Jordan Wright does have decent takedown defense, so, from a limited amount of sample size that I've seen of Jordan Wright, he seems like he does all the right things when defending takedowns. And for Jamie Pickett, he's got a good frame for the division, good reach on him. How these guys lose fights, so for Jordan Wright, it is poor strike and defense in the pocket. If you get him in the pocket, start throwing punches, he's reaching, he's, looking to clinch up really, and just no hands near the chin at all. And also his chin doesn't seem very strong. Like, when you do land clean on him, he gets put out more likely. And I get Joaquin Buckley, but, getting put out cold by Anthony Hernandez, who isn't the hardest puncher. He punches hard, but it's not the hardest puncher. You're going to get much harder punches than Anthony Hernandez at 185. And he's going to put out cold in 40 seconds by Anthony Hernandez, so not a great look. For Jamie Pickett, it's the striking tendencies that we discussed before, and also it just doesn't seem like he's very physically strong. He seems to get thrown around a lot in his fights. I get that he fought Nchukwi, who's a tank, but even in the regional scene, he was just getting lifted up like it's nothing by these smaller guys. And it's not technique or anything. It's just, well, it is a bit of technique for his takedown defense, but I don't know, he just doesn't seem very strong. It seems like he gets pushed around a lot in the clinch. He seems to get pushed to the fence quite a bit. just seems to allow it. But yeah, that's just my observation again. So path to victory. Alright, so for Jamie Pickett, let your hands go. Tee off at him when in close. He's not very dangerous in close. He'll be looking to clinch up if you do get in close. So look to really tee off. There's not too much danger with the hands of Jordan Wright. Mix in takedowns as well, just to mix it in. If you can get some top control and some damage off on top, then that's a boss. That's a plus. So yeah. But for Jordan Wright, look to feint to get those big reactions out of Pickett, and then look to set your high kick up with something that will get him leaning back. So if that's a feint, if that's a jab, whatever it is, just try and get him leaning back. Also, just look to clinch up when he gets in close. You don't really want to be boxing in range, because I don't think that's where you're going to win the fight. So when he does get in close, look to clinch. Look for the Muay Thai plum clinch, knees to the body. Maybe if you can manipulate his posture a little bit, then go up top to knees to the head, but mostly, yeah, just for the body. So how I see the fight playing out, I'm not going to beat around the bush. This is a really, really, really low level fight. I mean, I don't think either of these guys should be in the UFC, honestly. Jordan Wright's strength of competition is really one of the weakest I've ever seen. I mean, his first 6 opponents have a combined record of 0-47. His next 2 before the Contender Series were 3-4 and 7-5. And then he went to the Contender Series, got murked by Anthony Hernandez, and then went back to the regional scene against a 11-5 guy, did what he had to do there, came back into the UFC probably against one of the worst fighters in the organization, got a victory, and then versus Joaquin Buckley, who cleaned his clock. So, yeah, still need to see a lot more out of Jordan Wright. Both are similar in style, both are similar in stance, both like to kick at distance and use their range. Both guys have terrible strike and defense, so it could just be whoever gets clipped first, honestly. I think Pickett has the better hands, but he rarely lets them go, so I believe it's going to be a pretty competitive and close fight on the feet, honestly. I have a suspicion that Pickett does come in with a heavily wrestling game plan. Seems like Wright has decent takedown defense, but it's never been tested against a decent wrestler. Like, it looked good in the Buckley fight, but Buckley isn't a great wrestler. I mean, he couldn't even take Kevin Holland down. So, yeah. Also, I'm not saying that Pickett is a decent wrestler either. Don't think he's a very good wrestler at all, but I think he can mix it up here, whereas Jordan Wright, he doesn't seem to have that ability. Betting wise, I wouldn't touch this fight with a 10-foot pole. No idea who wins, but I'll pick someone just to make this video worthwhile. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think Jordan Wright might get another win in the UFC. Probably gets it done by decision. Alright, so yeah, I pick Jordan Wright, the Beverly Hills Ninja, to get it done by decision, I think. And, I think that's going to be the case because I think Jamie Pickett is going to play it quite passively and quite defensively, and I don't think, while he's being defensive, I think Jordan Wright, is just going to be, touching him at distance, just racking up points on the judges' scorecards. So I don't think it's going to be a terribly entertaining fight, but yeah, I do think Jordan Wright wins. It's not confident, obviously. If you've listened to the first part of this video, or the whole video, I haven't been confident with too much in this fight, but yeah, not looking to bet it. I wouldn't touch this fight with a 10-foot pole, honestly. It's, 2 flaky guys, 2 guys flaky in their own right, and yeah, I just don't want to bet it. It's a pretty low-level fight. Probably both shouldn't be in the UFC, so yeah, I'll just watch it for entertainment purposes. Should be semi-fun, should be a striking match, so, always fun with the big boys striking, so either could get knocked out. Both are kind of flaky, so one probably might get finished, but yeah, I just think it goes to the decision. I'm not confident in it though, but yeah, I've already stated my reasoning.